What is up, guys? Ace the Wrestling Nut back with you, and welcome to another Guru video. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about, just a bunch of different things. Lesnar in particular. I know a lot of people are, still going on about that, and, rightfully so. But a lot of people are talking about that, and I've heard a lot of different opinions on a lot of different sides of the spectrum. The one thing that I actually want to bring up is that it seems like every week people are hopping the fence back and forth to, cheering for Lesnar or cheering for Cena, and now they want Lesnar to win, and now they want Cena. I mean, I don't know. For me, ever since Lesnar came back, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with you, it's created a buzz. And I mean, I've always been one person to say that, as long as people are talking about it, it's good. I mean, there's some case scenarios where that's not always, the general idea, especially if it's really bad, like Jeff Hardy wrestling an event high. But, things like this, whether Brock Lesnar turns out to be a bust, or let's say he can't, work too well at Extreme Rules, which I'm expecting a decent performance, but I mean, it's a buzz, and people are talking about it, and that's what's important. Whether you're cheering for John Cena, you're cheering for Lesnar, people are talking about it. And at the end of the day, that's what you need. It's drawing interest, suspending disbelief. I don't need to teach you theory or pretend I know it. But it's just, okay, when people are saying like, oh, Lesnar needs to win. And then there's other people on the other side who are like, oh, well, Cena's already done a job. And he just lost at the last pay-per-view. He can't lose this match. And this is what got me a little ticked off after WrestleMania, when The Rock won that match. Okay, for the past year, anybody you would talk to would tell you, oh, well, Cena needs to win the match, but I really wish The Rock would. And then when Rock wins the match, everyone's like, oh, Cena should have won the match. He's just an actor. And it's like, shut the hell up. I'm sorry, that was pretty ridiculous. I'm still pretty choked about that. Oh, Cena should have won. The Rock sucks. And he's just going to go back to Hollywood. Well, for the last year, you've been saying that you wish The Rock would win. And now it's like, oh, Cena should have won. It's a prime example. People always tell you about people who are never satisfied and always want more and are never happy. Prime example right there. But as for Lesnar, okay, as I'm looking at Extreme Rules, and I know a lot of people are going to say, have different opinions on the card, it looks pretty solid. And once again, people are going to buy that show. Kind of like WrestleMania, there was other things to it. Most people bought WrestleMania for The Rock. I would say it's probably fair to argue. Some people may say Hell in a Cell, but the main draw for that pay-per-view was The Rock, and that's why it was the main event of that show. And for Extreme Rules, there's no doubt about it. Brock Lesnar is the reason anybody who is anybody will be ordering Extreme Rules. So, people are debating already. Well, Cena should win because he's lost the past couple of pay-per-views. Well, Brock should win because he just came back. It's just, to me, it just sometimes frustrates me, especially with people who don't just, try to enjoy it. And I mean, I know a lot of people are going to rant about themselves and say like, oh, wrestling fans are jaded, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, there's something to be said there. Because, I mean, whether you're a fan of Lesnar or not, if you watch this and, you're just having it go by and you're hearing people legitimately talking about it and being like, oh, but Tom, did you hear Brock Lesnar's back to doing the fake wrestling? It's being talked about, and people, are clearly discussing it. And that's what's important. People will say, oh, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, Lesnar needs to do this. And I mean, people are saying like, oh, they're mapping out Lesnar's road to WrestleMania already. Oh, he'll beat CM Punk at SummerSlam, and then he'll face The Rock at WrestleMania. It's like, he's been in the company for 3 weeks now, or 3 weeks now. People need to just let this play out. It's like when people were like, oh, CM Punk and Chris Jericho is a boring feud, and it's boring. And then they started actually doing something, and people were flipped on that. But it's just like, okay, with Lesnar, and Cena at Extreme Rules. I do figure Lesnar is probably going to win the match. And to be 100% honest with you, no lie, I could see, you know, this being the dismantling of John Cena and just being ripped to shreds. And honestly, I could see Cena taking a bit of time off. I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, I'd love to see that happen. I'd love to see that happen. Some people might be calling me an idiot for it. But I could see it happening, you know. To quote Angels in the Outfield, it could happen. It could happen. But, no, I'm just, you know, a lot of people have been angering me, especially with the WrestleMania stuff, because that was bull. Like, I mean, for a year, people sat there and tried telling me, Cena needs to win, but I'd love to see The Rock win because it would bring me back to my childhood. And then it happens, and you bash it. There is no winning with some fans. There is no winning with some fans. Some fans will never be happy. That is another topic for another video. But as for WrestleMania, or as for Extreme Rules, sorry, I'm looking forward to the show. I'll probably end up doing a prediction video on my own channel after SmackDown. You know, get the whole card laid out, the 8 matches. One thing I'm actually surprised about is Miz and Santino is the dark match, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But, yeah, as for Cena Lesnar, for people who are like, oh, it's boring, Lesnar needs to do something, Cena's doing this, give it time, it'll play out, especially with this whole list of demands Lesnar has. So it's going good right now. And like I said, it's creating a buzz, and that is always a positive. So that's going to do for this video, guys. Remember to subscribe to the Gurus of Greatness because in reality we're great. Remember to follow me on Twitter, add me on Skype, question me on Formspring. Follow the GOG on Twitter, add the GOG as a friend on Facebook, and have a great day. That's going to do for me, guys. Eighth Wrestling Not out. Peace.